Tell me about these torpedo bats. Tell me what you think about this. Is this much ado about nothing? Because I, it's just crazy how much this has like dominated the baseball news world.
Has it dominated the news cycle too much? Yes, without a doubt. Is it much ado about nothing? No. I mean, there's a lot to do here. It's a very interesting innovation. So as you see the bat, the top bat is the is the torpedo bat, the bottom bat's regular bat. One thing that you have to understand is this is just another step up in Major League Baseball. So if you haven't heard the whole story. The Yankees had hired an MIT, basically professor or whatever, somebody who studied,
Graduate.
graduate, not just a graduate, like a whatever professor, I don't know, whatever, somebody out of MIT who's really smart. So he understands physics, understands swinging a baseball bat and hitting a baseball, what that means. He wanted to be a baseball coach. They got him in the organization. He did a study in the past on Anthony Volpe. They all made it sound at the beginning of the year like as if it was like just happened this year. They'd done a study in the past on Anthony Volpe and trying to understand why he's like just not hitting the ball as well as he should. What he had concluded is if you change the bat, if you move the middle of the bat, like where you're supposed to hit the ball, down just a little bit more towards the label, and you can see it right there, a little bit towards the label. So that's the actual bigger, better, meatier part of the bat to hit the ball. He will be a much better hitter than what he has been in the past. So basically, he gets jammed a little bit, just a little bit. And that's the big thing as pitching. You want to move pitching in and out, move it off the end of the bat, inside part of the bat. What he does is consistently his swing, it jams just a little bit. So what they said is use this bat with a little bit more wood in that centerpiece. It still qualifies under all major league rules, and you will hit the ball better. And he has, and he did. And then what we're starting to see is a whole bunch of guys now seeing and jumping all over and thinking, oh my God, every home run they've hit is because of this torpedo bat. And then the media just took it and ran with it, and it's everywhere. And Will Clark's on it, and Dave Portnoy's jumping in, and everyone everywhere is talking all about it. But at the end of the day, let's get down to the real thing about it. It's an adjustment for hitters that don't hit the ball exactly where everybody else hits it. Perfect. There's no problem with that. Like we have bats that are weighted a little heavier on the end of the bat, bats that are weighted a little heavier towards the handle of the bat. And so it's just an adjustment of the bat within the rules for guys to hit it. Like it's so funny. I saw on MLB Network, on MLB.com, they talked about why isn't Aaron Judge using this bat? Wouldn't he be a better hitter if he was using this bat? No, he'd be a worse hitter. He'd be a worse hitter because the problem is he doesn't hit the ball there. He hits the ball perfectly square where you should, and he has a lot of great results because of that. This is not a end all be all for every hitter in baseball. That's the problem. Is people didn't explain this is only for hitters that hit the ball in this area more often, not for everybody. Not everybody hits the ball like that. A lot of guys square it up. A lot of guys hit it all more on the end. The problem, and so they try to have an extended barrels and stuff like that. I saw an interview by somebody, and they're talking about they used to have extended barrels because they used to hit the ball at the end, so it moved their barrel out a little bit. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it's a great adjustment. It's finally seeing an adjustment by hitters versus pitchers, and them and adjusting to their own personal swings. It's like having a golf club, changing the length, changing the weight, changing where the sweet spot is on the club, and then hitting. And any PGA pro will tell you their club is not like everybody else's club. It is different. It is very specific to them. We've always just had bats that are really just generic. Now they're just making a little adjustments. I love it. I love the change in the game. It's just media and personalities don't take the moment to just understand it and educate themselves on it.
I'm so glad you brought up the golf thing because you're 100% correct. If you have the ability to change your equipment so it can suit your game, why not? I mean, you and I were both golfers. We've played golf before. I've seen your driver. Your driver has lead tape on it, so that way you have a little more weight on the front of it so that you can hit the ball farther. I've had my driver adjusted so it has a different amount of spin and it has a lower trajectory so I can get my ball going farther. There's nothing wrong with that. And I can't stand the fact that any of these pundits are going to say that it's bad for the game. It's just an adjustment.
It's great for the game. That's the thing about it. It's great for the game. And stop saying like it's a Jeff Fry idiot on X talking about how like you're rewarding or Will Clark even on there was talking about you were rewarding bad swings. No, we're just taking a good swing where we call it a bad swing because you don't hit it like everybody else.
Right.
It's just a different swing. And don't get me wrong, like yeah, that might be a bad swing, but then make it a bad swing as a pitcher by hitting it by making them hit it where the normal barrel would be, and then it ends up being a bad bad hit ball. Like what I want to see, and I have not seen this yet, and I haven't done the research on it yet. I want to see exit velos of these guys that are using the torpedo bat this year versus last year when they weren't using it. And I want to see how their numbers are actually affecting, because to me, everyone talks about the Yankees and Bellinger was using it, Chisholm was using it, Volpe was using it, and oh my God, they're going crazy. At the end of the day, like maybe it was just the team they're playing and the Brewers really sucked, and maybe it was something like that. Like, because we go out, Zach Gallen struck out 13 guys yesterday,
Yeah.
against the Yankees and did an incredible job of pitching. Maybe it's just the bad pitching and throwing it to their sweet spot, and that's their sweet spot now. So if I'm seeing somebody with a torpedo bat, I'm not pitching them in. I'm pitching them away.
Yeah.
I'm pitching way away, trying to get them to hit off the end of the bat or more towards the normal barrel, and then it's a bad hit ball.
As far as I'm concerned, this is no different than any pitcher changing his arm slot.
Yeah.
It's just you're making a modification. Granted, it's a modification to equipment rather than your body, but if you can make a modification that's within the rules, why not?
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned Jazz Chisholm and Dave Portnoy. I find it absolutely ridiculous that this Red Sox fan, Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, is sitting there giving Jazz Chisholm all this grief on X. But I am a little worried about Jazz, not because I think anybody dislikes him or anything, but do you want to be the guy that Barstool is going after all year? You know that Barstool has so many guys that work under Portnoy and just do whatever he says, and they can just attack him all year. Would you just keep quiet if you were Jazz?
That's the thing to me is he needs to understand to just stay quiet. Just let it be. Just let it happen. I wish if I was the Yankees that nobody had known that we were using these bats, and let people talk. Let them talk. I am not taking on Barstool, because the thing about it, they don't care, and they make their money by not caring about you personally, destroying you. Like they will trash you, and they'll create an entire segments and conversations about trashing you, and then people defending you. That's them. That's what they want. And Barstool's really good at it, and they've become the best at getting personal and attacking over something that's like nothing. And so just stay back. Like there's no point. Like why do you care so much what Dave Portnoy says?
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy can say whatever he wants. He's a big Red Sox fan. He's going to love it. He's going to hate it, or whatever he's want to do. The problem is there's going to be Red Sox players using the bat. There's going to be Red Sox players that go out there, use the torpedo bat, because this works to their swing. My bigger issue is like everybody's out there trying to get their favorite player to use the torpedo bat. All these guys are signing up for the torpedo bat. They're trying to get it in, when that doesn't necessarily make their swing better. Like that's not their swing. Their swing just sucks in general. It's not necessarily the bat. No, that's obviously just kidding. But I think a lot of guys are jumping on the bandwagon and not understanding how their swing works, and if this would actually help their swing or not.
What are you thinking about all this drama with Giancarlo, formerly Mike Stanton? And there were some people saying, and maybe he said it a little bit, that this affected his elbows, and this is why he has tennis elbow, and now he's backing off of that. What do you make of all that?
It's really interesting because he said, and I quote, bat adjustments is what he's blaming for his elbow issues. Bat adjustments. Last year, he was using the torpedo bat. He had a great year. Well, that's when he hurt his elbows, and he was claiming that's when all the adjustments happened. What adjustments are we talking about? Why do we call bat adjustments when it's a new bat? I 100% believe he was saying, without saying, that there was something to do with the torpedo bat. That him swinging that bat, changing how he swings for that bat, helped his numbers, hurt his elbows. And you don't use the bat adjustments. That's a very interesting term to use. It's a very specific term to use when you change your bat.
Right.
And to me, I think there's without a doubt a link there. They'll never talk about, and they'll never actually guarantee a link there, because he's still going to try using him because he saw the numbers. You're not going to blame the bat on your elbows at the same time. You do know something changed, and it was the only thing that changed was the bat. So there's some, you didn't say stance adjustments, hands adjustments. You didn't say anything like that, or like swing adjustments, bat adjustments. And you used a different bat. You used the Torpedo bat. So to me, I think without a doubt, the Torpedo bat had a lot to do with this and a lot to play with it.